I'm Kathleen Henderson,
creator and owner of the blog and YouTube channel Roots and Boots.
I, along with my husband Greg, whom I often refer to as Mr. Native Texan, live with our 3 boys on 20 acres in Northern Virginia.
Our family focuses on real food, natural wellness, and creating a non-toxic home.
When our oldest son was a baby, I started experiencing some health challenges and eventually received some diagnoses and some treatment that was supposed to make me feel better, but it never did. To make a long story short, I eventually wound up doing my own research, which led me to overhauling our entire diet and focusing on a real food diet, emphasizing whole real foods. As much as possible, we tried to avoid synthetic or toxic ingredients and materials. This was when I really started to feel better. So we like to say that we realified our entire lifestyle. We got real. As for growing food, those wheels had been set in motion back in our little newlywed starter house in the suburbs of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We started a garden of flowers, and then that garden got bigger and bigger, and we added vegetables. And then in 2009, we had the opportunity to move north. We moved to Northern Virginia with Greg's job, and we knew we wanted our next home to have a bigger yard and maybe even be out in the country. We wanted out of the city, out of the suburbs, and maybe even out of the conventional American rat race. We found a house on 3 acres and thought we would live there forever. We had a big garden, lots of room for the boys to run and play, but then came my health challenges and our lifestyle overhaul, and all of a sudden we were buying meat and dairy from local farms. I was learning to cook in what felt like a whole new way. And just as we were sorting through this new real food diet, Mr. Native Texan finally found a hobby. He had tossed around the idea of getting chickens now that we were out in the country. So for his 40th birthday, my parents helped me surprise him with a chicken coop and 3 full-grown laying hens. And just like that, he found his hobby. Those 3 chickens quickly became 20. Then he started wondering, how hard could it be to grow chickens for meat? One thing led to another, and in 2018, we moved from our 3-acre starter homestead to a 20-acre farm. We quickly added 2 pigs, and the following year increased it to 5 pigs. We also added beef cows, and our sons have added ducks, a goose, heritage chicken breeds, and meat rabbits, plus the big vegetable garden, a small orchard, and several berry patches. Greg is the animal guy, and I'm the plant lady. We've really hit the ground running, and we set a goal to grow at least 75% of our family's food. Now that we've discovered this way of life and become sort of addicted to it and to the benefits and rewards of this lifestyle, we've become educators and ambassadors for eating real food and growing real food. I wish that everybody, every American, every child in America could have the experience of growing their own food. I wish every child could have the experience of raising or caring for animals and having responsibilities around a property and inside the house. That's something we feel passionate about in our family. And so we love to educate and inspire other families to experiment with a real lifestyle that includes growing their own food and embracing a more home-based lifestyle where there's time to be home with your family. There's time to work in the garden. There's time for children to create and explore and contribute. Our children are co-homesteaders with us. We couldn't do all that we do without them. We have found that others have been drawn to what we're doing and are fascinated by it. We want to share our experience with them and with you in the hopes that in some small way we might inspire you
towards more real food, natural wellness, and a non-toxic home. Because in the end, the best always comes naturally.